guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Everly Junior Karibu. So today I'm gonna discuss about misconceptions about money. So there's a lot of misconceptions about money. I see people are just getting confused about things to do with money, and I decided to just talk about this topic. So I'm gonna just dive right in. So there you go. The first top point that I have is that when you post about nice food or you're living it up. So let me see. Most people just think just because you post about food, maybe this is one time you went to a fine restaurant and you posted this nice meal, they think that maybe you have money, or you eat that kind of food every day, and that's not the case. Like I'm myself, I'm a foodie and I love good food. I love eating good meals. So you find sometimes I just post like, and that's once in a blue moon. It's not like I go to certain restaurants or any of that sort. It's once in a blue moon if I get the chance. Even it could be once, even a year, or even once a month. So people just have this misconception that you have money, and you see photos stay. So if maybe sometimes even put it as a TBT, maybe you're out eating good food and then you post it. So most people just think, they assume that you have money and that's what you eat every day. And that's just a misconception that many people have. And I think people ought to think, there are things you just do once in a while. Maybe you can even save for months and months and then take yourself out to a nice place and eat, and then people now will assume that you have money. And then the other point is on traveling. I love traveling as well. I think I just I love the good life. I can't lie, I love the good life. I love having fun, traveling, visiting places. But it's been a while, especially since I got my baby, so I've not traveled and I really miss it. So but before I had a baby, I used to travel a lot. So you find it's not like I had the money. It's a lot of money. So I used to save, and you never know. Sometimes you're given handouts by relatives. It could be your own family just financing you, taking you, sponsoring. People have misused that word, so I'm trying to avoid the word sponsor. So they can actually pay for you, and you can be able to travel, even let's say to coast or something of that sort, or to another country even. So it doesn't always have to be like you have money yourself so that you can travel. So there's a lot of misconception about that, and actually some people just get lucky. You get into maybe a competition and you win and you get to travel, or let's say someone just decides, why not tag along, I'll cater for everything, and out of a good heart. It's not like they have any hidden agendas or any of that sort. So there are a lot of misconception about that. So when they see people traveling, especially when they post photos, they automatically think this person has money, and it's just once. You find like it's just once in like I don't know how many years, even 2 years, and then now people just think, hey, this person travels a lot. No, there's a lot of misconception on that. And then the other point is that when you buy appliances, some people think you've made it. So sometimes some people just think because maybe you have this certain as appliance, maybe you have a fridge, maybe you have a television in your house, a big screen, and maybe it's like big, maybe even more than 40 inches or whatever. I know some people have bigger. So so you just find this, some people just they think automatically that you have money, and maybe you saved for like a year to be able to just purchase that appliance. Maybe you really had to even get loan. Maybe you're in a chama, especially chamas really help, like with you being able to buy something quicker, because maybe you in a month, maybe you're removing 1,000, so maybe that time you get the money, you decide to make a purchase on an appliance. So, and someone else automatically think, oh, this guy has money, hey, look at that TV, look at that fridge. And it's not the case. So people, I think, need to just think about ways of just being able to just buy things, instead of like it doesn't have to be like you just have the cash right then. It can be from a chama. Some people even take loans, soft loans. Some people just they buy in small durations. Like maybe they pay a certain amount this month, the next month a certain amount, until they are able to purchase their appliance. So I think people need to be open-minded about money. And the other point is that when you're driving, you have it all. So I know so many people just think, they assume that if you're driving, I personally, I don't drive, I don't have a car, but I'm praying to God that I do, in the near future. So but I understand like if just because you have a car, that doesn't mean like you have so much money. So I feel like so many people assume that since you have a car, you automatically have money, and it couldn't be. far from the truth. But because you might find that person, maybe they were even given by their parents, or it was a hand me down, or maybe they purchased it at second hand, and they're really struggling to even just keep it, maintain it, because you have to go to take it for maintenance. I assume you have to, especially for the fuel, like that's so expensive. So you can imagine, like, someone is, they're always broke. I can imagine, because, okay, no, I can't speak for everyone, but like I can imagine, like, the pressure of having to pay for fuel a lot, like it's a lot. So I actually understand people who own cars, and like now you find some people just assuming just because they have that car, they're rich and they can be able to buy anything, they can be able to just hand you money just like that because they have money. No, 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 there's a lot of misconception around that, especially, and it's not the case. And sometimes even I can imagine some people just feel like even just leaving their car sometimes and just using public means, because it can be quite crazy to be able to just maintain a car. So yeah, that's what I assume. And also, you never know, someone could have taken a loan to just purchase the car. They took a loan and they're paying it back. So it's crazy. Like when you get to understand the story behind someone purchasing something, then you'll be able to understand about how they were able to acquire a certain thing. Then the other point is nice clothes. So people usually assume just because you dress up nice, you have made it. And I think this is just weird, because you might find like personally, I love wearing thrift clothes. In here in Kenya, we normally call it mitumba. So I'm very good at going and looking for, and really I'm really good at just like looking for clothes and just making them work. So actually, I don't know, I think I should have been a stylist in another life. So so now people just assume just because you're dressing nice then you have money, and I'm like, no, 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 you can actually dress up so nicely. You don't even have, don't need so much money. You just have the right, if you have the right taste, you have the right, like, you have the eye for fashion, then you can be able to dress up nice. So there's a lot of misconception about that. Even wearing shades, some people just think, this chick is rich. I'm like, no, 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 no. I love wearing shades, especially now that it's so sunny. Like, for me, I just love wearing shades. I love looking good. Like, if I can just look good and presentable, then I'm going to do it. So I don't have to spend like a lot of money just to be able to dress up nicely. So I don't know why people think it's because you look good, then you have money. Then the other point is on setting up a business. So some people, they're able to maybe get a loan from maybe their banks or even from relatives. Some people normally just are able to source for money so that they can be able to set up capital for their business. So many people just assume just because, and they don't know the backstory, until you find someone's story, that's when you'll be able to understand how they came up, maybe from the bottom until now where they are. So it's always good to just do a background story and ask people how they are able to pull off the capital and all that to be able to start a business. So you find that maybe someone took a loan, or someone also actually invested in that person. You never know, because there's so many opportunities nowadays. So you find maybe someone else was able to see the potential of this business and they was able to invest in that business, and then now the business grew and they have money and all that. So you assume that that person has money, especially if they're starting out. No, don't never make that assumption that like they just have money and they're swimming in money. No, never make that assumption. Then the other point is treating yourself often. So I think that goes hand in hand, like with the traveling and food. So maybe you decide to treat yourself. Maybe it's your special place. Maybe there's ice cream that you love, and maybe you really had worked hard that week or that month, and you decide, why not, let me just treat myself. And the money is tight, but sometimes you have to do, like, life can be tough sometimes, and you just need to do something just to remind you to be soft on yourself. That's what I feel like. Sometimes you just have to remind yourself, like, be kind on yourself. So maybe that time you posted and maybe you took some ice cream, or maybe you went out on a retreat or something, or a hiking or something of that sort. So someone else will think, oh, this person has money, and it's just that one post, that one time you just went, and it's like, and then the other weekends you're just at home, and some people just assume that this person has money, and it's not the truth. So, and I don't, I must agree that some people who actually do that, like, often, and they have that kind of money. But I'm just saying, like, people need to be more open-minded, not to think like just as in you're going to do this when you have money, you're going to do this, because you can actually decide to save. You say, let me save, I'm going to take myself maybe to a certain restaurant one day. Maybe you just save a bit, and then that one day just comes and you take yourself. Like, it doesn't have to be like for you to wait until you're rich so that you can be able to go to a certain place. And it's not a must like for it to be a very expensive place. It can be just affordable, you don't need to go to an extremely exorbitant place. Yeah. So the other point is also when you pay someone else's bill. So there are people who just think, in Kenya they usually say kiongozi, yeah, chairman. They call you nice big names once you pay their bill. So now people will just assume, and maybe that's you being kind to them. Maybe you don't even have much money. You just decide, let me just buy you something. It's okay, let me just pay the bill this time, and then maybe next time you'll pay the bill. So they just assume that you're rich and you have a lot of money, so the next time they'll expect you to maybe cater for the bill or do something else for them. So people need to just stop that, because maybe that was just once, and maybe that person was just feeling generous at that point, and yeah, that's it. Like, there's nothing more into it. So if someone just decides to pay your bill, or just someone is just doing something out of their way because they feel like you have it rough than them, so just take it nicely, politely. Just know that this person also has their problems, but they just decided to go out of their way to just help you. That's all. So yeah, people need to understand that. Like, yeah. Then the other point is when you have a nanny, or maybe you're getting someone to do your laundry. In Kenya, I know in other countries it's difficult. It's difficult for people to get nannies. Here they're very expensive in other countries, and just to get people to just help them clean up, it's really expensive. So in Kenya, we're blessed. We have nannies, and we have people who can help you clean. Maybe you have a tight schedule and you decide, I want my laundry to be to be done, and why not, let me call this they're called mamafua, which means a woman who cleans, who does laundry, like that. So yeah, so it's easy for us to do it. So now some other people just assume, hey, this person has money, and imagine sometimes you just need the help. You can't do everything. Sometimes you just caught up, you're tired, you just feel like maybe you had a tight schedule, you've been so busy, you don't even have the time to just do your laundry. So just getting someone to help, once in a while, it's good. So some people just assume just because you did that, like you have money, and that's not the case. Or even if you have a nanny, some people just think now, oh, this person has money, and it's not the case. Because in my case, because I just have to have help, because I'm raising my baby on my own. So it's just sometimes, as much as I would love to save that money for paying the nanny, I just find myself like I just need help, because sometimes even maybe I need to go somewhere and I need someone to watch my baby. So as in, it's been really difficult. So I just need a nanny, and I think people should stop with that, because it's just something that you do. It's like a necessity. Sometimes you just need one, and you can't do without one. So for me, I feel like it's not like I have money, it's not like I'm rich, but I pray to God that I become rich, of course. Yeah, but sometimes it's just a necessity, and you find yourself, just doing it, and yeah, that's it. So I think people should stop about like that misconception about having a nanny. And the other point is that not buying things on credit. So for me, like I don't like debt. I hate debt, to be honest. And I understand when people are in debt, it can happen. Sometimes you just find yourself stuck in a situation that you need to borrow money here and there, and you're stuck in debt, paying them back. So, but for me, I hate debt. Like, I just try my best to live. If I don't have money, I'll just buy whatever I can with whatever I have, and that's it, and just be content. So some people now assume just because you don't have debt, maybe you at the shop, you don't have any debt, you've cleared your debts, like you buy something in cash. So some people assume you have money, but I think it's just being able to just organize yourself, being able to budget well, and also just living a minimalist life. You don't need this, like you don't have to buy it. Like, you feel like you don't really need this something, you don't have to buy it. If you feel like maybe you have enough clothes, like for me, I used to buy clothes a lot, so I'm trying nowadays to not to buy so many clothes, because when I walk around and I see a nice dress, I'm like, I have to have it, it's calling me. But nowadays I'm trying to tell myself, I'm trying to have a conversation with myself and asking myself, do I really need this clothes? Do I really need this outfit? Then I'm like, no. Then yeah, I try to just block out. Like, sometimes you just there are things you just yearn for, and you need to just discipline yourself not to want them. So yeah, that's another misconception of not buying things on credit. So some people think just because you don't buy things, you don't have any debt, or you don't buy things on credit, then you're rich. No, 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 it's far from it. It's just being able to accept where you are, the situation you're in, and being able to just use what you have and buy what you have and accept, just acceptance is key. So yeah, those are the points I wanted to discuss with you today. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Everly Junior, bye.